Hello, I'm a PC, and welcome to the 2009 Worldwide Developers Conference. I wanted to be the first to wish all of you a great conference filled with incredible innovations that will keep Apple at the forefront of the... You know what, I think I can do that better. Let me try that again, please. I'm sorry.
Take two.
Hello, I'm a PC. Welcome to the 2009 Worldwide Developers Conference. I want to be the first to wish you all a week with some innovation, but not too much, please. Yeah, I like that.
Take three.
Okay, hear me out. You've already sold over 1 billion iPhone apps. Don't you think that's enough? I mean, iPod Touch is a runaway success. Maybe you could just slow it down and maybe you could float a few ideas my way, right? I could use some snazzy apps, some things. Why? I hope you're thinking of some great ideas because I'm thinking of great ideas. What are your ideas? So you'd prefer this? I don't even know what to do anymore. Canceled. Get out. No.
Take 60.
Hello, I'm a Mac, and what PC's trying to say is have a great conference.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome to the 2009 Worldwide Developers Conference. We have an amazing week planned for you. It's incredible for all of you, and I mean all of you. There's over 5,200 developers from 54 countries around the world. It's incredible. I mean, can't you feel the love in this room? I mean, it's intense. This is the best level of excitement and anticipation for our developer conference yet. And there's so many good reasons for that. I'd like to show you just one. This is incredible. This is a chart of OS X users in the first 5 full years of Mac OS X, from 2002 to 2007. Great, steady growth, adoption of Mac OS X. This is in shipments. This is actual active users, up to 25 million. But something incredible has happened over the last 2 years. To show you that, I need to change the scale of the graph a bit. Keynote, magic move. And this is what's happened with iPhone and iPod Touch. We've tripled the number of active users of OS X across these products. We've tripled install base of customers to run all your amazing applications. It's just astounding. No wonder everyone's trying to race behind us and follow in our footsteps. No wonder there's so much excitement around what's happening. So in this keynote, we'd like to tell you about some of the things we're doing on the Mac and the iPhone and iPod Touch to continue this amazing market growth, to continue to create products that our customers just love to use, to continue to give you technologies so that you can build the world's coolest applications with them. To help me do that, today I'll be asking Bertrand Serlet, our Senior Vice President of OS X Software, to join me. And also Scott Forstall, our Senior Vice President of iPhone Software. Now I get to begin with a section on the Mac. And I'm really happy to do that because the Mac products are the best they've ever been at Apple. We make incredible products, and increasingly the majority of our customers, when they buy a new Mac, they choose one of our notebooks. We make these amazing new notebooks. And we're in love with the way they've come out lately with this new design we've come up with. It actually started a year and a half ago with the MacBook Air, where we created a technology we call the Precision Aluminum Unibody Enclosure. Unibody for short. And it lets us create a notebook that's sturdier, made of amazingly beautiful materials, packed with features, and best of all, insanely thin and light. We like this design so much that we took it across other products, the 13-inch MacBook, the 15-inch MacBook Pro, the 17-inch MacBook Pro just earlier this year. And all have done extremely well, and customers couldn't be happier with them. And even though we have a huge lead over anyone else in the notebook business, making incredible, gorgeous designs, we don't want to stop. We want to continue to extend that lead. So I'm really happy to show you first today a brand new version of the 15-inch MacBook Pro. Now, it's built on this unibody architecture that allows us to pack more things into a thin design than anyone else does. So built in is a revolutionary lithium polymer battery. We started this earlier in the year with the 17-inch MacBook Pro. This battery gives an amazing up to 7 hours of battery life. That's 2 hours longer than before, 40% greater battery life. And we do it in a more environmentally friendly way. The majority of notebook batteries in the market today get about 300 full recharge cycles before they start to have diminished ability to retain a charge. These new lithium polymer batteries of ours are over 3 times longer, over 1,000 recharge cycles. Yeah. So that means a typical notebook user will get about 5 years of life before they see diminished charge in that notebook battery. That's incredible, because that's longer than a typical notebook life. So most customers may never need to change the battery in their notebook because it will last that long. And when they do, we have a great recycling program in our stores if they want to take advantage of it. Unlike our competitors, who in that same time, often the customers will go through 3 batteries, not dispose of them properly, and it's just not good in the environment. So you get this incredible battery life, this long life battery, all in a design that's just as thin, just as light. And that's amazing to deliver. When you open it up, the new 15-inch MacBook Pro has a gorgeous display. In fact, it's the nicest display we've ever put in a notebook. It has 60% greater color gamut, which means more vivid colors on the display. It's still insanely thin. And as you go around the I/O side, you see there's all the I/O on the left-hand side. If you zoom in, you see something different this time. In place of the express card slot, which was used by less than a single-digit percentage of our customers, there's a new SD card slot. Well, why an SD card slot? Well, most all our MacBook Pro customers have digital cameras today, incredible digital cameras like this Canon DSLR. And of course, you can plug it in with a USB cable, but customers really like the convenience of popping out the SD, and they've all standardized on SD now because of the speed and capacity they hold. And now you have the convenience of just popping it right in to the MacBook Pro and importing your photos right into iPhoto and Aperture and Photoshop, wherever you are. So you have a built-in SD card slot, but there's a lot more to this new 15-inch MacBook Pro. It is the fastest notebook we've ever made. You can configure it with up to a 3.06 gigahertz Intel dual-core processor with 6 megs of L2 cache. And that's the fastest processor we've ever put in a notebook. You can also expand it with more memory, up to 8 gigabytes of 1066 DDR3. You can get up to 500 gigabytes, half a terabyte inside this notebook, up to 7,200 RPM, or if the way you like to go is SSD, you can get up to 256 gigs on that. So this is an incredible new 15-inch MacBook Pro. It has all these features and capabilities, and it starts at an even lower price of just $16.99. Yeah. Now, that's $300 less expensive than before, and I know a lot of customers are going to appreciate that. You can configure many different, thousands of configurations on our online store, but here are 3 standard channel configurations that you'll find. At $16.99, it starts with a 2.53 gigahertz Core 2 Duo, 4 gigabytes of DDR3 memory, a 250 gigabyte hard drive, the NVIDIA integrated 9400M graphics, and all those features like the built-in battery and the SD card slot. At $19.99, you get a faster processor, 2.66 gigahertz, a bigger hard drive, 320 gigabytes, and now you get both the integrated and the discrete NVIDIA 9600 MGT, so you can choose even faster graphics or longer battery life. And the highest end channel configuration, $22.99, that's $200 less expensive than before. It's now 2.8 gigahertz, a 500 gigabyte hard drive. It's an incredible configuration. So those are the new configurations of the 15-inch MacBook Pro. Now, of course, that joins the 17-inch, which also has that amazing built-in battery. And today, we're updating the configuration of that as well. It's also 2.8 gigahertz. It's also a 500 gigabyte hard drive. It retains express card slot because there are some specific solutions and customers have, for example, some high-end audio products. And that's now $300 less expensive than before, $24.99. And all of these, the new 15-inch MacBook Pros and the updated configuration of the 17, are shipping today. So. So the MacBook Pro is an amazing notebook computer. We make another unibody computer as well, a 13-inch aluminum design. And today we're going to update that too. The new 13-inch notebook has the same revolutionary built-in battery, and this is incredible. In a notebook this small and this thin and light, it also gets up to 7 hours of battery life. Again, 2 hours more than before, 40% more battery life, and yet it stays just as thin and just as light. And also, this 13-inch notebook gets that same incredible new high vivid color, 6% greater gamut display. And if you look on the I/O on the side of it, there's that SD card slot as well. Now, this did not have an express card slot, so we really challenged the engineering team to make room to fit in that SD card slot, and they did it. Now, you're looking at this and you're saying, wow, it's got a lot of the cool features of the 15-inch MacBook Pro. At what point isn't this just a MacBook Pro? So we challenged the engineering team, let's go further. What other things can we add to just make it a MacBook Pro? So this new 13-inch notebook also can expand up to 8 gigabytes of memory. This new little 13-inch notebook can also have up to 500 gigabytes of storage, a 256 gig of SSD inside. And then a feature that I know many of our customers love about a MacBook Pro is the built-in LED backlit keyboard is now standard in it as well. A lot of great features. Let's go back to that I/O. If you look a little further down past that SD slot, you're going to see something else we've put in there as well. Yeah. Because doesn't every MacBook Pro deserve FireWire 800? So with all of those features, just like the 15-inch, just like the 17-inch, it deserves the name MacBook Pro. Now, in every way, this is what you expect from a MacBook Pro, except one. Starts at just $11.99. Yes. Now, that's less expensive than the 13-inch aluminum MacBook it replaces. And that's amazing. So here's the standard channel configurations. Again, you can build even more in the store. At $11.99, you get a 2.26 gigahertz Core 2 Duo, 2 gigs of DDR3 memory, the integrated NVIDIA 9400M graphics, 160 gig hard drive, and all those great features like the long life battery and the SD card slot. At $14.99, 2.53 gigahertz, 4 gigs of memory, 250 gigabyte hard drive. So great configurations. And the new 13-inch MacBook Pro is available today. So that's a 13-inch. That really completes the MacBook Pro family, 13, 15, and 17-inch. New features, all amazing battery life, all backlit keyboards, the ability to expand. And they start at just $11.99, $16.99, and $24.99. Phenomenal pricing. It's the most affordable lineup we've ever had. Now, if you know some of the other things we've been up to lately, you know that just a week and a half ago, we updated the configuration of the white plastic 13-inch MacBook. So that has a slightly faster processor and bigger hard drive. So to complete the picture, we're also going to update the MacBook Air today as well, with some more aggressive configurations and pricing. Now, a 1.8 gigahertz, it's a faster processor for just $14.99. That's $300 less expensive than before. And if you like SSD, you can get a 128 gigabyte SSD config with a 2.13 gigahertz processor. That's $17.99. And if you looked where we were just before this keynote started, that's $700 less expensive than the previous configuration. So these notebooks, and they already were so far ahead of the competition in so many ways, and they just leap even further ahead now. And one of the areas they're far ahead, and we're really proud of this, is being environmentally friendly as well. All of these notebooks, and no one else can say this, every MacBook Pro, every MacBook Air meets the stringent EPEAT Gold standard. That's really important for environmentally friendly design. And every one of them meets Energy Star version 5. That's the new version coming out this summer, and they already all meet that. And because of that, we're really proud to say this is the world's greenest lineup of notebooks. So great notebooks. Thank you. Amazing hardware, products that our customers really are going to love and appreciate. And what does it deserve? Great hardware deserves great software. I think this audience knows that better than anyone. Great software. So to tell you what's going on with Mac OS X, I'd like to invite up Bertrand Serlet. Thanks, Phil.
Good morning. Over the years, the feature set of Mac OS X has grown to an incredible portfolio. And our latest release, Leopard, is the most successful software product Apple has ever had, with features like cover flow in Finder, Quick Look, Time Machine. Our users really love it, and so does the press. It's by far the best operating system written for the vast majority of consumers. What a sharp contrast with what's been happening up north. Here's the press again. Vista has failed to catch on with mainstream computer users, while businesses have shunned it outright. Indeed, Microsoft has dug quite a big hole for themselves with Vista. And they're trying to get out of it with Windows 7. But underlying Windows 7, you have the same old technologies, DLLs, the registry, disk defragmentation. No end user should ever have to know about that. The user account control, that's the security subsystem that prevents your PC from being infested at the cost of tons of alerts. And in Windows 7, to address the alerts problem, even more complexity thrown upon the user. So that's Windows 7, same old technology as Vista. Fundamentally, it's just another version of Vista. We come out from such a different place. We love Leopard. We're really happy how it has turned out. We're proud of Leopard. And so when it became time to think about the next big cat, we decided to name it Snow Leopard, to build upon Leopard. And the challenge that we set for ourselves is to build a better Leopard. So what does that mean? 3 things. First, lots of refinements across board. Second, powerful new technologies. And third, exchange support. So let me talk to each in turn. First, refinements. You know, Mac OS X is made up of a lot of projects, over 1,000 projects. And for Snow Leopard, we've decided to refine over 90% of all those projects. So let me give you some examples. The Finder. We actually love the way the Finder is in Snow Leopard. And so for Snow Leopard, we did not change it, at least the user interface. What we did do is rewrite it using our modern toolbox, Coco, so that we are better positioned for the future. And from that rewrite, there's lots of little benefits, lots of little touches that you'll start noticing once you, excuse me, once you start using Snow Leopard. Next, the dock. In Leopard, we added a beautiful 3D rendering for the dock. But I don't know about you, but my desktop sometimes has a little more clutter. And we've had a feature for the longest time on how to deal with clutter. It's called Exposé. So what we did is we've built Exposé into the dock. The way it works is you just click and hold on an app tile, et voila, you select the window you want. Next, installation. That's probably your first contact with Snow Leopard, and we've made it even faster, up to 45% faster. But maybe more importantly, after you install Snow Leopard, you actually recover some disk space. Over half the footprint of the OS, over 6 GB more space, thanks to technologies like file system compression. Preview. Preview is, of course, our favorite way to view images and PDF files, and we've made common operations faster. There's also lots of little touches. The one I like is about text selection in PDF files. In Leopard, you can actually select text and copy-paste it into other applications. But it doesn't always follow the logical order of the text. In Snow Leopard, we've used a little bit of AI to actually infer the structure of the document. Next, Chinese input methods. It can be cumbersome to enter a character, a Chinese character, with a keyboard. But you've got a trackpad. Why not use it? This is exactly what we did with Snow Leopard. You can draw with your finger. And the computer picks the most appropriate character, even predicts the next character to come. Next, mail. Everyone uses mail. We've made it even faster, and quite a bit faster for common operations, as you can see. Next, Safari. We've been working on a new version of Safari called Safari 4, with features like top sites. It's been in beta for a couple of months, and I'm very proud to announce that today we are shipping Safari 4 for Leopard, Tiger, and Windows. Safari 4 offers unsurpassed speed, speed for HTML and speed for JavaScript for your Web 2.0 web pages. This chart here shows the standard SunSpider JavaScript benchmark, and the scale is multiples of IE8 speed. It's also very, very standard. In fact, the gold standard for the ultimate test for standardness is the acid-free test, and it passes 100%. To put that in perspective, IE8 passes 21%. So Safari 4, of course, will also be available on Snow Leopard. It will be included in Snow Leopard. And in Snow Leopard, there's a couple extra features you don't get on the other platforms. The first is crash resistance. Let's say you browse the web, have quite a bit of state buildup. Well, let me tell you a little secret. The #1 cause of crashes across all of macOS 10 is actually browser plugins. So if your plugin crashes in Snow Leopard, you just get this rectangle, but the rest of your windows are intact. All you need to do is reload that page, and that's it. You haven't missed a beat in your browsing. The second feature that you get only on Snow Leopard is even more speed. You know the JavaScript benchmark I showed you a few slides ago? That's a 32-bit benchmark. When you run in 64-bit, you go even faster. And of course, we run applications in 64-bit. QuickTime. We have an all-new QuickTime in Snow Leopard. We call it QuickTime 10. It's an all-modern stack. It fully leverages hardware acceleration. It's super efficient. It's color correct. And we're debuting a new technology for streaming called HTTP streaming, because it's all based on standards, HTTP, AAC, H.264. It works with any web server, like an Apache server. It's really cool. So since we had such a change in the backend of QuickTime, we decided to also change the user interface of the QuickTime player. And this is what it looks like. As you can see, the contents is center stage. In fact, as you start playing, the on-screen controls, including the window title, go away to let you enjoy your contents. So what I'd like to do now is have you see some of the features and little touches that we've added in Snow Leopard. And for that, I'd like to ask my colleague, Craig Federighi, VP of macOS Engineering, to demo to us some of the refinements.
Thank you, John. Oh, you guys are too kind. All right. So I'm going to cover 3 areas in this sneak peek of Snow Leopard, and we're going to start with Dock and the Finder. Now, one feature of the dock is Stacks. Stacks makes it really easy to get quickly at your documents and your downloads without cluttering your desktop. And in Snow Leopard, Stacks handle large contents better than ever. I can now scroll through a large stack, and if I have subfolders like this vacation folder, I can just drill right in without leaving Stacks. Yeah, pretty nice. Now, I could open this document right here, but I want to jump into the Finder to show you a couple nice touches there. So here we are in icon view. Looks pretty familiar, but if you look in the lower right, you'll see that we have a magnification control. I can now magnify my thumbnails, and this is a live preview, so I can actually step through this page PDF right on its icon. I can even play a movie right in its thumbnail, and I can magnify, of course, while it's playing. Really, really cool. Oh, yeah. But you know, my favorite new feature in the dock is Dock Expose. And to demonstrate, I want to recreate a little bit what my desktop can tend to look like after a long day. Lots of Mail Compose windows, lots of Safari windows, lots of images open in preview, and so forth. Now, fortunately, the Mac has long had a fabulous solution for this problem in the area of Expose. So I can activate Expose and step back and see all my windows across all my open applications. But you know, I usually know what application has the window I'm looking for, and now with Dock Expose, getting at it couldn't be more natural. So let's say I want to get at a window inside a preview. I just click and hold, and there are my preview windows. I want to see in Safari, click and hold, and I'm there. Mail, same thing. And you know, it looks like I have an unread email message I'd like to take a look at. I don't even have to open it. I'll just zoom in and take a quick look. I can zoom in right in Expose without switching apps, and when I want to finally bring a window to the foreground, I click and it slides right in. But you know, Dock Expose also makes it easier than ever to move content across windows, even if some of the windows aren't visible. So let's say I want to go back to that Finder window and get a video to drop inside this email message. I can just Dock Expose into the Finder, find the image I'm looking for, drag it over to Mail. Mail springs into Expose. I select the window I'm looking for and drop it right in. Yeah. This really smooths out some of your Mac workflows. Very nice. OK, the next big area I want to cover is Safari 4. Snow Leopard ships with the final version of Safari 4. And if you're a Safari user, and I hope you are, like me, it is the fastest browser on any platform. You know, if we want to visit an image-rich site like ESPN, we hit it, boom, stunning speed. And that speed extends to JavaScript sites as well. Let's go to Google Maps. Loads quickly, and whether it is zooming, panning, switching modes, just stunning, stunning speed with that Nitro JavaScript engine. But you know, Safari also makes it faster and easier than ever to track my top sites, the sites that I visit most. I click on the top sites icon here, and I get an intelligently laid out, beautiful panoramic view of all the sites I visit most. Getting to one of them couldn't be more natural. I want to go visit ESPN, I click, it fades in, and I'm viewing. I want to go back, fades right back out. And Top Sites is even tracking for me when a site that I view has changes since I've last been there with this little blue star. The final really great area of Safari I'd like to cover is full history search. So if I want to go back and find a site that I visited recently, I just click in this search history filter in the lower right, and I get a cover flow view across my browsing history. Right? Very easy to find what I'm looking for. But not just that, I have full spotlight search of this content, and not just of the URLs or of the window titles, but of the text in the pages. So I type Maui, not K-Maui, let's type Maui, and I get all the pages that I've been visiting to plan my Maui vacation. Find the one I want, click, and I'm browsing. Very easy way to get through my history. Now, the final area I want to cover is QuickTime 10. QuickTime 10 has been re-engineered on top of modern Snow Leopard foundations, and the QuickTime player has been rebuilt from the ground up to put your video center stage. Let's take a look now at a family vacation video. We see the playback controls are elegantly overlaid on the video itself, and as I start playing, if I move my mouse out of the window, watch how they fade away. Even the window title bar fades away to put my video center stage. And when I want to go back to access those controls, they fade right back in. But another great feature of the QuickTime player now is the ability to trim and share my video. So I can go here and select trim. I get a visual timeline of my video. I can scrub smoothly to find the clip I'm looking for, maybe this harrowing cliff jump. Let's go whoop, back up. Find the end point, scrub in this way. And when I found what I want, I just click trim, and there's my edited clip. And then when I want to share it, my sharing options are just a click away. I can share to YouTube, MobileMe, or iTunes, where I could export to playback on my iPhone. Really, really nice sharing in QuickTime. Thank you. So those are just a few of the many, many touches to Snow Leopard, and I'll be back shortly. Thank you.
Thanks, Craig. So lots of refinements in Snow Leopard, but there's also powerful new technologies. And those technologies fundamentally are to take advantage of the power of silicon and bring that to the user experience. Because when you look at a modern Macintosh, you have an incredible set of components, things that were unthinkable a few years ago. You have RAM, gigabytes of RAM. I mean, a few years ago, it was expressed in megabytes. You have a powerful processor that runs at a frequency expressed in gigahertz. That's multi-core, 64-bit capable. And then you have a GPU with enormous raw processing power. But to take advantage of all this, you need the right software. So we have a number of technologies. I want to mention three. First, 64-bit. Of course, the primary reason to use 64-bit is to take advantage of lots of memory. Because if your application runs in 32-bit mode, it has an inherent limit with the addressing space at 4 gigabytes. When you run in 64-bit, it's 16 billion gigabytes. That's the limit of your addressing space. In practice, it's unlimited. Another reason, of course, to run 64-bit is that the processor can do math faster. So certain things like FFTs will run twice as fast in 64-bit mode. So for all those reasons, we've been on a trajectory over the last few releases to enable more and more 64-bit. And Snow Leopard is the final stage where we are running all the major system applications in 64-bit mode. So, that's 64-bit. Now let's talk about multi-core. Because Moore's law has changed its form. You know, a few years ago, we were used to always increasing kind of frequency for the chips. And as the processors hit around 3 gigahertz or something like that, the expression of Moore's law became there's more and more cores. And this is a trend that we see continuing in the future. But the challenge with multi-cores is how to take advantage of them, how to program them. And the standard answer is threads, multi-threaded programming. But it's really, really hard. And it's also fairly inefficient because you never have quite the right granularity. So we have a solution for this, a new methodology that we called Grand Central Dispatch. It's built-in support for multi-core across all of Snow Leopard. It's very, very comprehensive. All the way from a language extension, low-level libraries that are super efficient, high-level libraries to make it really easy to program, integration with all the system APIs, and tools to tune your program. So just to give you a taste of what it feels to use GCD, let's look at threads in Leopard for, say, the mail application. When mail is busy, it has a certain number of threads. And when it's idle, it actually keeps pretty much all those threads. In Snow Leopard, when mail is busy, it actually uses more threads to take advantage of the multi-cores. But when mail is idle in Snow Leopard, all those threads go away, giving back resources to the system. And when you reapply that pattern for every major application, you get a big win in performance and responsiveness. So that's GCD for multi-core. Next, let's talk graphics. You know, the amount of power that you have in cards nowadays is incredible. We're talking of over 1 teraflop in raw power. That's 1 trillion operations per second. And it would have taken a whole room a few years ago to have that kind of raw power. And the standard way to use that power is to use OpenGL. That's what's used for games and graphics. But we want to move beyond that. We want to use this power for all kinds of things. And for that, we've devised a technology that we call OpenCL. The C stands for computing. It protects you as developers from exactly what card the user has. It's based on C, so there's very low learning curve. It uses sophisticated compilation techniques to optimize. And it has numerical accuracy, which means you can use that for scientific computation. We've also decided to make it an open standard, and many companies are participating. In fact, all the top manufacturers of graphics chip are in. So that's OpenCL. So just 3 of the technologies we have in Snow Leopard, they are really important because they give us a lot of power in the platform. And this power is power for us to innovate in the OS. And it's power for you, for your applications, to gain a competitive edge. So the next area I wanted to cover is fitting in businesses. You know, many people nowadays have a Mac at home that they want to take to work. And it works great because we have Microsoft Office. That's, of course, the de facto standard. We integrate really well with IT services. We have Unix. And we can run Windows applications via Boot Camp, Parallels, or VMware. What's missing is Exchange. So we've decided to build Exchange support into Snow Leopard into the main free communication applications, mail, iCal, address book. It's really, really simple to set up thanks to auto-discovery in the Exchange server. You just fill in your email address and your password, and that's it. You are set up in all free apps. So what I'd like now is to ask Craig to come back and demo us Exchange.
All right. Well, let's see just how easy it is to take your Mac from home and hook it up to Exchange inside your company. So to start, I'm going to open up Mail. And you'll see I have my personal mail accounts already set up, MobileMe and Yahoo Mail. But now I want to connect to Exchange. So I'm going to go to Add Account. And Mail's actually already defaulted my address from my address book, for my Exchange address. I'm going to type in my Exchange password. And just like that, Mail has auto-discovered my company's Exchange servers. I click Create, and I'm integrated with Exchange. I have all my Exchange emails, just like that. I have my Exchange folders already set up. I have my Exchange to-dos and my Exchange notes immediately. But I also have access to all the macOS 10 technologies in Mail, even on my Exchange email. So Spotlight, for instance, I want to do a search for a sales presentation, instantly searching the Exchange data. And you notice there's an attachment here. It's a Microsoft Office PowerPoint. I get Quick Look to preview that live within Mail, whether or not I have Microsoft Office installed. And you know, I have data detectors here, so they spot an address, a contact, and I can put them in my address book. I can even, with one click, map a location. So all those technologies integrated in with my Exchange email. But you know, the applications also work together in just the way most natural for the Exchange workflow. So for instance, if I have a meeting invitation here, it shows up in my Mail inbox. And I can accept it with one click right inside of Mail. Or if I want to see that invitation in iCal, I can just open it right up there and see it in context and accept it with one click in iCal. And now that I'm in iCal, you'll see that I have an integrated view of both my Exchange calendars and my personal calendars. Now, this integration extends also to Address Book. So in Address Book, I have an integrated view of my contacts, both my Exchange contacts and my personal contacts. I can search the Exchange global address list, and I even get my Exchange contact folders. And here's a cool one. If I want to set up a meeting with people in a particular Exchange contact folder, like this product team, all I do is drag that contact folder out of Address Book, into iCal, pick a time slot, and I've just scheduled a meeting. Okay, and finally, one of the most requested features for integration between iCal and Exchange is the ability to schedule those meetings, taking advantage of availability information for people and rooms. And Snow Leopard delivers. So if I go into this location field and type building, for instance, you see it's searching the address, or searching the global address list, finds me the briefing room. And when I look for available meeting times, I click here. I see the conflict that exists for this invitation, but that's not a problem because I just ask iCal to find me the next available time, and it reschedules the meeting for me, just like that. So I hope you can see that when you move your Mac from home to the office, we've delivered Exchange integration just the way a Mac user would expect. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Craig. So Exchange support requires the latest server from Microsoft Exchange Server 2007. And with Exchange support built in Snow Leopard, it's somewhat ironic that we have it at no extra charge, while Windows PC typically require an extra product to get Exchange support. So that's Exchange, and this is kind of a little tour of the various areas of focus in Snow Leopard. Lots of refinements, powerful new technologies for all of us to innovate, and Exchange support to fit perfectly in businesses. So that's Snow Leopard. And Snow Leopard will be available for all Intel Macintoshes, past and present. So how should we price Snow Leopard? We've priced Leopard at $129. And we want all Leopard users to upgrade to Snow Leopard because Snow Leopard is a better Leopard. And so we are pricing Snow Leopard at the incredible price of $29 for Leopard users. And if you have several machines, up to 5, you can use a family pack at $49. Snow Leopard will be available this September. And today, we are making available a near final version of Snow Leopard, a developer preview, so that you can make sure that your application runs great on top of Snow Leopard. So that concludes the update on the OS, and in fact on the Mac. Now I'd like to turn to Scott for the iPhone.
Thank you. All right, let's talk about the iPhone. It has been an incredible year for the iPhone. It was less than a year ago that we released iPhone OS 2.0, and with it, the native SDK. Now, this allowed developers to go beyond web development and build truly native apps. The response has been staggering. Developers have downloaded the free SDK more than 1 million times. And these developers have been prolific in building apps and posting them to the App Store. There are now more than 50,000 apps on the App Store. Now, we've been working really hard, too, to build a huge and growing user base to run your apps. Apps from the App Store run on all iPhones and iPod Touches. And we have already sold more than 40 million iPhones plus iPod Touches. Now, these customers, they love downloading and running apps from the App Store. In fact, on April 23rd, we crossed 1 billion apps downloaded from the App Store. That's in just 9 months. And I'd like to say thank you. Thank you to our customers, and especially thank you to the developers who've been working so hard to build these great apps for all of our customers. You know, we've heard some amazing stories from our developers. And we put a little video together to share some of these stories. Let's go ahead and roll that now.
Never in my wildest dreams did I think that I could just travel the world while making games. After DizzyView was launched, we could finally make that happen.
For us, that's really what it's all about, creating great experiences for the fans.
Man, if I could see the fetal heart tracing on a mobile device, there's not a doc in the world that wouldn't want to be able to do that.
When I was a practicing physician, I had a direct impact on patients' lives. Now, through our application, our sphere of influence has dramatically grown.
When the SDK was released, we said, yes, it's possible now to create the games we've been dreaming about.
It always been my dream to travel around and make my own games. And we took a stab at it, and it was pretty hard to get your game published. But when the iPhone SDK was announced, that was when I knew the opportunity was right, and it was really going to be something special. We finally made a game that we were really happy with, and we submitted it. About 1 in the morning, we looked and we saw Dizzy View available. We just exploded. We were so excited. Finally got a game published.
A female physician is sitting at her departmental meeting. She has Airshabobi running right beside her, and she starts to notice some changes that worry her, so she quietly grabs her keys and leaves. By the time the nurses first recognize this and say, uh-oh, we may have a problem, and they call her, and she says, hey, I'm in the hospital, I'll be right there.
I was in San Francisco last year during the World Series, the Phillies versus the Rays, and I was waiting for a flight to come home at the airport. There are a bunch of Philly fans watching the game on TV, and in the middle of the game, the iPhone commercial that we did came on. So they all pull out their iPhones and download the app right there. They're all excited because they can go take the app with them when they get on the plane and not miss anything of the World Series as they're about to take off and go home.
I created Gameloft to be able to come back to the roots of the gaming experience for users. Progressively, it has become a very specialist experience, and I felt that it was not fair. So I said, we'll create a new company to make sure that everyone would be able to have fun and play all over the world. And it's working because we sell millions of games.
On the iPhone, everything behaves as you expect it, and the tools they're simple, but they mask this incredible amount of power underneath.
It's really the first time that we've been able to take a platform and now go to our designers and say, there's no limitations.
What Apple's done is made it so we can just focus on what we do best, and they've taken care of all the details.
In fact, sometimes I have to stop and say, wow, this is a mobile device I'm developing for, because it feels like a desktop application API.
I think with the SDK 3.0, we will be able to create without limits. And in terms of experience, end users will clearly move a step forward and will never want to come back.
It's hard to express how cool the new streaming technology really is. I mean, being able to watch a live game on your phone for the first time, I think everyone here is really excited about that.
The push notification API is going to be great. The physician could take the application and they could customize exactly for individual patients what alerts they wanted to see. So that way they know if they're getting an alert, this is something I really want to take a look at.
I'm hoping there'll be a generation of kids who grew up oh yeah, I got box scores and watched games on my phone. It was just part of the experience of baseball.
Developing for the iPhone SDK actually makes it fun again for a developer.
This is going to be the dominant platform, the dominant device, and it will dominate in healthcare.
I think that I'll probably never go back to making games in the traditional way again. Having the power to submit it and have lots of people download it and enjoy it has been really great.
You build the app, you upload it, specify the countries you want it, the prices you want, and then it's out there for the entire world to see.
My favorite app is Bike Gears.
My favorite app is Surf Report.
My favorite app is Labyrinth.
Facebook.
App Engine.
My favorite app is
Color Sutra.
Le Monde.
Zenbound.
Piano.
Airstrip OB.
Maya.
Camera bag.
Koipondo desu.
Mint.
Pulse 87.7.
Mon application préférée est
Lightsaber.
Pac-Man.
Mein Lieblingsprogramm ist
MLB.
Visual.
Multiquiz. Asphalt 4.
Shazam.
Taxi.
It really has been an amazing year, and we owe it to our developers, so thank you. Let's talk about what's next, and that is iPhone OS 3.0. This is a major update to the iPhone operating system. It brings with it more than 100 new features. Let me highlight just a few, starting with cut, copy, and paste. We are bringing a nice, simple, beautiful, touch-based interface for cut, copy, and paste to the phone. When you make a selection, you get this nice cut, copy, paste bubble right above your selection. So cut, copy, and paste. It works across all apps, both the apps that come with the phone and apps downloaded from the App Store. We've also added undo support. With a simple shake gesture, you can undo your last action. We also, of course, have developer APIs. So if you'd like to extend the pasteboard with your own data type, you're free to do so. And the Cocoa Touch text controls come with support for cut, copy, and paste built in. So depending on how you use the controls, you can get cut, copy, and paste in your application for free. Cut, copy, paste. Next is landscape. Ever since 1.0, we've had support for landscape in Safari, including support for this nice wide landscape keyboard when entering text on the web. Well, on iPhone OS 3.0, we're taking landscape and that landscape keyboard to all of our key applications, including mail, notes, and messages. Now, speaking of messages, the big news here is MMS. This allows you to send and receive photos, contacts, audio files, and locations all in real time over the cell network. And we've taken all of that support and put it in the same app that also supports text messaging. So one app to send text and multimedia. Now, MMS requires carrier support as well. 29 of our carrier partners in 76 countries around the world will support MMS at the launch of iPhone OS 3.0. In the United States, AT&T will be ready to support MMS later this summer. Next, search. We are taking search beyond just searching your contacts and allowing you to search your calendars, your music, your notes, and your email. And the great part about searching your email is you can search not only the messages that have been downloaded to your phone, but you can also search the potentially thousands of messages back on your mail server. You can search, find exactly the message you're looking for, download that message along with its attachments, and read it on your iPhone wherever you are. In addition to all of this search support, we're also adding Spotlight. Spotlight is a single location on your home screen that allows you to search across your phone. You can even search for applications. So if you're like me and you have well over 100 applications on your phone, you can just type a few characters, find the app you're looking for, and launch it right from Spotlight. That's search. Next, iTunes. We've got some nice enhancements to iTunes. You'll now be able to rent and purchase movies right from your phone. This is great if you're at an airport and you're about to get on a flight and you want to get a movie. You can rent or purchase it right there, wirelessly download it, and then watch it. You can also purchase TV shows, music videos, and audiobooks. And because we care deeply about education, we've taken and put support for iTunes U right on the phone. Next are some important additions to parental controls. In addition to the parental controls we already support for things like controlling access to Safari or YouTube, we've added control over a number of other items. Most importantly, fine-grained control for movies, TV shows, and apps from the App Store. That means that a parent can limit their child to only viewing, say, G and PG movies. Likewise, you can limit your child to only running apps from the App Store that are age-appropriate. Parental controls. Next. Tethering. Tethering allows you to share your iPhone's internet connection with your computer. This means if you're somewhere with, say, your laptop and there's no Wi-Fi around, you can just share that internet connection that your phone already has right with your computer. This works with both Macs and PCs. It works wired over USB with that same cable that came with your phone. And it also works wirelessly over Bluetooth with your phone just in your pocket. It is a seamless experience. Once you've turned on tethering on your phone, there's no need to run any application or tethering software on your computer. It is seamless. Like MMS, this requires carrier support, and we have 22 carrier partners in 42 countries around the world that will support this at the launch of iPhone OS 3.0, and more will be rolling out later. Next, Safari. We've got some great improvements to Safari, starting with performance. SunSpider is a standard JavaScript performance benchmark. And on iPhone OS 2.2.1, the last major update we had, on an iPhone 3G, we run this in 126 seconds. Now that is really fast. In fact, it's impressive just to complete this benchmark on a phone at all. Most phones cannot run the benchmark. Well, in iPhone OS 3.0, we run JavaScript almost 3 times faster. This is great. Your web pages load and render really fast. It just screams. Next, support for HTTP, streaming audio, and video. The great thing about this protocol is it picks the right bit rate and data quality for your current connection, be it Edge, 3G, or Wi-Fi. And since it's HTTP, it can go through firewalls. Next, autofill. You can now optionally remember your usernames and passwords to easily log into your favorite websites. We also use the contact information that's already on your phone to quickly and easily fill out web forms. Autofill. So, great performance, HTTP streaming, autofill, and HTML5 support. We have been driving and tracking the HTML5 standard. We already support many elements of it, like the database APIs. And now we're adding support for some of the emerging standards, things like the audio and video tags. That's Safari. Languages. Now, we ship a single operating system around the world, localized into every language we support. That means that a multilingual customer running in English can just tap on this globe button and dynamically, in real time, switch to a different language. It's one of the advantages of our soft keyboard. Now, we're adding support for even more languages in iPhone OS 3.0, starting with some right-to-left languages, Hebrew and Arabic. We're also supporting Greek, Korean, and Thai. In fact, we now support more than 30 languages in iPhone OS 3.0. And every one of these languages has both a portrait keyboard and dynamically a landscape keyboard. So great language support. This next feature is a great one. Now, Find My iPhone is really a service which is available only to Mobile Me customers on iPhone OS 3.0. If you lose or misplace your phone, you can log into Mobile Me on any web browser, and it will show you on a map where your phone is. So it might show you that you left it at the restaurant from last night. Well, it's easy. You can send it a message. You can send a message with your home phone and have it play a sound. This alert sound plays whether or not you left it in silent mode. So here, the waiter can find it, call you at home, and tell you he has your phone. If you're like me and it shows you your phone's actually at your house, that alert sound still plays even if you have it in silent mode. You can walk around your house until you realize the kids hid it underneath the couch. Now, if your phone really is lost or stolen, you can send it a remote wipe command, which will delete all your data. This will erase all of your contacts, your mail, everything, so you know that your private data remains private. And if you ever do find the phone again, just plug it back into iTunes and we'll restore it from backup. That is Find My iPhone. And again, these are only a few of the more than 100 new features that make up iPhone OS 3.0. It is an incredible consumer release. It is also a phenomenal developer release. The SDK that comes with 3.0 brings with it more than 1,000 new APIs. Let me talk you through just a few, starting with in-app purchase. In-app purchase allows developers to make financial transactions right from within the app. Now, this unlocks whole new categories of applications, things like magazine subscriptions, where you can renew that subscription right from within the app. It also allows people like game developers to sell additional game packs after you've completed the games that came with it. This keeps developers working on some games and adding value even after they've sold the initial app. The business terms for in-app purchase are exactly the same as for apps sold on the App Store. Now, in-app purchase is for paid apps only. Free apps remain free. So when a consumer downloads a free app, they know that'll be free for the lifetime of that app. And that's in-app purchase. Next, support for peer-to-peer connectivity. This is really nice, especially for games. Let's say you have a couple kids at the airport with their own iPod Touch, and they'd like to play backgammon against each other. The peer-to-peer support will automatically find the other player. It does it wirelessly over Bluetooth, but there's no pairing needed. It's completely seamless for both the developer and for the user. It finds it, connects the two, and now the game is off and running. So great support for peer-to-peer connectivity. It's nice for games. It's great for any application that wants to form a peer-to-peer connection between two devices, peer-to-peer. Next is accessories. In iPhone OS 3.0, we are opening up for hardware accessory developers to build companion software applications that talk right to the accessory. For instance, back in March when we announced iPhone 3.0, LifeScan, a Johnson & Johnson company, announced that they're taking their one-touch blood glucose monitor and building a companion iPhone application. This application will monitor your blood glucose and even calculate how much insulin you need to take at your next meal based on the meal. This is incredible. It'll be fantastic for people living with diabetes. Well, these companion apps can talk to the hardware accessories over the dock connector or even wirelessly over Bluetooth. You can use the standard built-in protocols, or you can even create your own custom protocols to talk to your custom hardware. That's accessories. Next is maps. We have built a Cocoa Touch control to allow you to embed the Google Maps service, including satellite and hybrid, right in your application. This control is really the heart of our map application that we ship as part of the phone. And that means you get everything you expect, like the ability to pan and zoom, to add custom annotations on top, to get your current location, to geocode, to reverse geocode. It's incredible. On top of this, we're allowing developers to build turn-by-turn direction applications using core location. Next is push notifications, which are in iPhone OS 3.0. We have provided a generic push notification service for developers. And this allows developers to push things like scoring alerts. It also allows you to push things like instant messages. There are 3 types of notifications you can push. Text alerts, like you see here, numerical badges for your home screen icon, and custom alert sounds, like you heard. And again, these are only a few of the more than 1,000 new APIs that make up the SDK in iPhone OS 3.0. It is an incredible SDK. Now, ever since we announced 3.0, we've been seeding developers with betas, and they have been taking advantage of many of these features already. So today I'd like to bring up a few developers to show you what they've already been able to accomplish in iPhone OS 3.0, starting with GameLoft. GameLoft is one of the largest developers of games for the iPhone and iPod Touch. To show you how they're taking advantage of all sorts of new functionality in iPhone OS 3.0, I'd like to invite up Mark Hickey. Mark?
Thank you, Scott. Good morning. Okay, so on behalf of GameLoft, I'm very excited to announce an awesome new product called Asphalt 5. It's the latest installment in our highly acclaimed Asphalt racing franchise, and we think it's going to be the best 3D racing experience ever seen on a mobile device. In Asphalt 5, you race elite sports cars and motorcycles in 12 exotic locations around the world. The game's going to ship with 27 licensed cars, 4 motorcycles, and some of the models included are going to be Ferrari, Bugatti, BMW, Audi, and a whole bunch more. The car you see on the screen today is the Audi R8, mean machine. And we're going to take the R8 for a little spin through the mountains in Aspen, Colorado. Now, I don't know about you, but when I'm driving, I like to have my iPod music with me. So as soon as we get into the game, we're going to open up the car stereo, and here we see one of the great new features of iPhone SDK 3.0. With Media Player Access, now you can access your car stereo to control your music from your iPod. Just select from playlist, artist, or song, same as you do on your iPod. Select what you want to hear, and you're good to go.
I've been driving all night, my hands wet on the wheel. There's a voice in my head that drives my heel. It's my baby calling, says I need you here.
All right, pretty cool, right? Pretty sweet. You can, so once you got the race started and the music going, what else is going on? Well, let's talk about graphics. Since Asphalt 4, we've learned a lot of new tricks developing for the iPhone and the iPod Touch. And we're pushing the hardware further than ever before. Asphalt 5 features advanced lighting effects, high-resolution environments, super fast frame rates, and tight responsive controls. Now, all these things combine to deliver a console-quality gaming experience unlike anything we've ever been able to produce before. We even worked some shortcuts into the game. Now, on top of all this, what's really going to make Asphalt 5 shine are the additional 3.0 features we worked into the game. We're going to have peer-to-peer multiplayer over Bluetooth, worldwide online multiplayer over Wi-Fi, which will include in-game voice chat, and we'll even be selling content packs where you can download 1 new racetrack and 3 new cars for just 99 cents using in-app purchase. So keep an eye out for Asphalt 5. It'll be shipping later this summer. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Mark. It's great stuff. Next up is Airstrip Technologies. Airstrip Technologies creates medical software that allows healthcare providers to monitor patient data on their mobile devices. To show you some exciting new work they're doing for the iPhone, I'd like to invite up Dr. Cameron Powell. Dr. Powell?
Hey, Scott. Good morning. Driving today is Airstrip co-founder and CTO Trey Moore. You know, at Airstrip Technologies, we are all about patient safety. Now, you're familiar with Airstrip OB from the video earlier. That application is already FDA cleared and is approaching 100 hospital installations. Now, the medical community is flocking to the iPhone. So this morning, we wanted to take advantage of the time and give you a sneak peek of our next application, Airstrip Critical Care, featuring some great new iPhone 3.0 SDK features. So let's start with push notification. So with push, I can pre-select those clinical parameters that I wish to be notified of when I'm on call. For example, we've just received an alert that a patient's recently ordered lab value has come back abnormal. Well, by acknowledging the alert, I can go directly to the test results screen where I can see that the patient's potassium level is too low. I can then navigate back to the patient summary screen to see more information about my patient. But you know, what if I'm away from the hospital and all I have is my iPhone and a cell phone connection? Well, now, with Airstrip Critical Care, I'm going to be able to virtually look into that patient's room. So even though I'm away from the hospital, thank you. So even though I'm away from the hospital, I can still look at this real-time waveform data just as if I were at the patient's bedside. But doctors like me can't be at the bedside 24/7, so we had to figure out ways to bring the data to the mobile physician anytime, anywhere, and we've now done that on the iPhone. Now, this is just like having a patient monitor in my hand, but you know what? It's even better. Because if I see a problem, I can tap to pause, I can scroll back over time to an event that may have occurred in the past, and then if I'm interested in that cardiac waveform, I can double tap on the tracing. I can enable pinch zoom. I can scroll back over time to look for abnormalities, and then if I see something of interest, I can zoom in, and I can enable touch calibration. This is really great. I can use the calipers to measure the distance between a cardiac event or perhaps the size of a waveform. So you know, in healthcare today, we really have a problem. There's not enough doctors. And there are so many patients that need our help. So what you've seen this morning is an example of how Airstrip Technologies is working to solve this problem by bringing any data to any doctor, anytime, anywhere on the iPhone. Now, we anticipate FDA clearance for this next product, Airstrip Critical Care, in the near future, and please look for us on the App Store. Thank you very much.
Great, thanks. Next up is Scroll Motion. Scroll Motion was created to develop digital books for the App Store. They're currently shipping titles from all major publishers in North America. To show you what they're doing with iPhone OS 3.0, I'd like to invite up Josh Kapul. Josh?
Thank you. Good morning. Joining me on stage is John Lima, my partner and co-founder. Scroll Motion is a company that was built around the idea of bringing great content to the iPhone. And in the last year, we've gone after the publishing space in a big way. This is our new in-app bookstore. It's powered by in-app purchase, one of the great new features in iPhone SDK 3.0. Let's go shopping. We currently have over 500 best-selling books in the App Store. But we are proud to announce that we've made deals to bring 50 major magazines, over 170 daily newspapers, and over 1 million books to the App Store. Let's buy one. Here we are in a category section. Let's go to teens. New Moon by Stephanie Meyer. Let's buy it. This is the book downloading directly into the app. This is the in-app bookshelf. This is where all your books live, and it's downloaded. Let's read it. The scroll motion experience for Iceberg is a scrollable page with the ability to swipe to turn back and forth. You can pinch to zoom the page as well. Now, two of the great new features in iPhone SDK 3.0 are copy-paste and in-app email. And we think that these are features that are going to really appeal to students. So let's imagine for a second that I'm writing a paper and I want to make a citation. All I have to do is copy and email. And the text is brought directly into the mail without ever leaving the app. Also present is all the relevant bibliographic information like author, title, page number, and even a link back to the App Store. Now, we are so excited about the educational space. And with that in mind, we're happy to announce that we've partnered with some of the largest textbook publishers in the world, including Houghton Mifflin Harcourt, McGraw-Hill, and Wiley, to bring textbooks to the App Store. We are Scroll Motion. This is the Iceberg Reader, and it is coming soon to an iPhone near you. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Next up is TomTom. The first, I said we're letting a turn-by-turn direction application. The first portable navigation device I ever purchased was a TomTom. And to this day, my kids still refer to all turn-by-turn direction applications as TomToms. To show you how they're bringing both applications and accessory integration to the iPhone, I'd like to bring up CTO and co-founder Peter-France Pauwels. Peter-France?
Thank you. And good morning, everyone. TomTom is very pleased and very proud to bring the very best navigation and the best maps to the iPhone. Using the new features in iPhone SDK 3.0, we've worked hard, we've optimized, and we've succeeded in to deliver real TomTom navigation as a true iPhone experience. I'm going to show you what that looks like. We'll plan our route, leaving from where we are right here at Moscone West. As a destination, we'll choose a contact from the address book. We'll take the fastest route option. The route is now calculated using TomTom's unique IQ Routes technology, which uses our enhanced map data and advanced planning algorithms to give you the very best route at a particular time of day. Absolutely unique. Instead of us all now going outside to a car, we'll use the built-in demo option to see what the navigation looks like. And off we go. You clearly see what's ahead and what's going to happen next. So that looks good. It'll also make it look even better. And of course, it will tell you where to go.
After 300 yards, bear right, then keep left.
So building on our wealth of experience in navigation, we've made sure that TomTom for iPhone is really easy to use in the car, but you wouldn't want to hold it right in your hand whilst driving. So, because navigation is all about safety,
bear right, then keep left.
Because navigation is all about safety, we've created an optional accessory, the TomTom Car Kit. Thank you very much. And it's not just a holder. Thanks to the new features of the dock connector, it will do a whole lot for you. So there we go. It will securely dock your iPhone. You can attach it to the windshield, or by turning this around to the dashboard. You can use it in portrait and, of course, in landscape. Thanks to the accessory framework, we can enhance your GPS signal, and that is important. Built-in loudspeaker gives you loud and clear voice instructions so you can keep your eyes out there on the road. And the microphone gives you hands-free calling. And yes, we'll play your music over the car stereo as well. Now finally, we'll power your iPhone as you drive, so by the time you arrive, you're fully charged. The TomTom app and TomTom Car Kit will be available this summer. We'll release the app through the App Store with a range of national and international maps. TomTom Navigation and Maps, TomTom Car Kit, it's here, TomTom for iPhone. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Next up is NG Moco. Founded to develop games exclusively for the iPhone and iPod Touch, NG Moco has brought some of the most innovative games to the App Store, including Rolando, Topple, and WordFoo, and others. To show you their latest, I'd like to invite up CEO and co-founder Neil Young. Neil?
Thanks, Scott.
We created our company because we believed that the iPhone would revolutionize gaming, and it has been amazing to witness the explosion of apps, creativity, and new game makers coming into the market. For NG Moco, the iPhone has offered us the opportunity to build truly great games, and with OS 3.0, that's getting taken to the next level. Today, we'd like to show you our latest project, Star Defense, an incredible new game that we've been building in collaboration with Rough Cookie. And to show you the software today, I'd like to introduce the game's producer, Stephanie Morgan. Stephanie?
Star Defense is an amazing tower defense strategy game that takes place across these breathtaking 3D planets and space stations. I can explore just by touching and moving my finger. I can pinch to zoom, double tap to go all the way in and out. Now, my job is to defend this planet against this crazy onslaught of alien invaders here, but luckily, I've got this awesome arsenal of powerful towers I can place anywhere. They can be upgraded, giving them greater range, rate of fire, and damage rate. Oh yeah, game on, Neil.
When Star Defense launches, it'll come with a galaxy with 7 campaign planets and 1 challenge planet. But we didn't stop there. And today we want to give you a preview of some of our 3.0 features, and one feature in particular, expansions.
So in addition to free updates, we'll be adding the ability to extend the game with major new content and feature packs that totally change up the gameplay. You can access them just by pressing the shop button right here on the main menu. Now there are 4 expansions here, but the one I want to show you guys is this last one because it is so huge. For just a few dollars more, you get an entirely new galaxy. That's like another 100 hours of gameplay, and bam, check that out. Whole new galaxy in my pocket.
Now, in addition to expansions, we're also adding our Plus network that allows you to play against friends and followers with leaderboards, awards, and a great new 3.0 feature, push-to-play challenges, that allows you to play head-to-head over the internet, anytime, anywhere. So that's Star Defense, the latest game from NG Moco. The 3.0 features will be available around the launch of OS 3.0, but you won't have to wait until then to play the game, because Star Defense is launching today. It's available right now exclusively for the iPhone and the iPod Touch, and it's just $5.99. So go get it. We hope you love playing it, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, this next one is a great story. 45 years ago, Pasco was formed based on its founder's high school science fair project. Today, they create equipment and software to teach science to kids in grades K to 12. To do a science experiment for you, I'd like to invite up Wayne Grant. Wayne?
Thank you, Scott. Good morning, fellow developers. Today, students can connect over 70 Pasco sensors to their computers, and they can collect, display, and analyze data in real time. And years of research has shown that when students do science this way, they learn more, remember it longer, have more fun, and stay interested in science. We know this works. Our challenge is to bring this experience to every student. So we're developing the Spark application for the iPhone to do just that. You're looking at our experiment browser, and I'm going to select Balloon Burst so that we can all explore the physics of bursting a balloon. We're going to see how pressure changes over time. Now, before we do that, what I want each of you to do is create a mental picture for what you think that graph is going to look like. Got the picture? Great. Now, the setup for this is simple. We have a source of compressed air connected to the balloon, which in turn is tied to a pressure sensor that feeds data back through the 30-pin connector to the Spark application, all thanks to the iPhone SDK 3.0. Now, we're ready to do the experiment, but I'm going to ask Apple's own Mr. Science, Scott Forstall, to perform the dreaded balloon hold. Now, you'll notice that Scott is perfectly attired to practice safe science. Are you ready, Scott?
What?
All right, let's start collecting data. Open the compressed air valve. Notice the rapid increase in pressure. Notice the rapid increase in pressure. Nothing's happening. Wow. The rapid increase in pressure is right here. As you might imagine, this has worked flawlessly a million times. Anyway, let's play it as if it's really happening, all right? The pressure increases dramatically as the balloon fills. But wait, it doesn't burst immediately. Instead, the pressure drops because the balloon expands. Now, sometimes these things happen, and we can show you that that flat line actually zooms quite well. But truthfully, what's really exciting about this is that when you connect sensors to an iPhone, you can turn the whole world into a laboratory. And kids can do science anytime, anywhere. We know this is an important time to get kids interested in science, and we're certain that the Spark application is going to do just that. Look for it in the App Store this fall, and check us out at pasco.com. Thank you very much.
Okay, last time I'm dressing up for an experiment. The next one is Zipcar. Zipcar is the leading car sharing service with almost 300,000 members and 6,000 self-service vehicles around North America and the UK. To show you how they're going to enhance their experience for Zipcar members with the iPhone, I'd like to bring up Luke Schneider. Luke?
Thanks, Scott. Good morning. Joining me today is Jonathan Wolf, Principal Engineer at Zipcar. We're very excited to introduce our new Zipcar iPhone app today using Jonathan, a typical Zipcar member. He'll be picking up friends for dinner later tonight, but Jonathan doesn't own a car. As with more than 25% of our Zipcar members, Jonathan says his life is on his iPhone. So as he walks along Mission Street, he taps the Zipcar icon to instantly find and reserve a Zipcar. The application locates him, then immediately shows him all the available Zipcars nearby. Now, with the iPhone 3.0 SDK Map Kit, maps embedded in our application make it fast and easy for Zipsters like Jonathan to search, pan, and zoom into Zipcar locations all around the city. Indicated by these stylish Z push pins, Jonathan instantly sees all the Zipcar locations nearby. Green pins indicate cars that are available now. When he taps on a pin, up pops the location name and the number of available Zipcars. With current location and geocoding, Zipcar members instantly see vehicles in any Zipcar city, such as New York, Boston, Toronto, San Francisco, even London. Jonathan selects Beale Street, a location within walking distance, and browses through the list of available Zipcars. While a Prius is nice, he decides a Mini Cooper would be more fun for the group. He selects Mini McDougald from the list. All Zipcars have names. He learns everything he needs to know about Mini McDougald before reserving, what it will cost, how many will fit comfortably, even a few fun facts. And because he'll probably want to reserve this car again, he taps the heart button to be sure to tag it as a favorite. Next, he taps Reserve, dials in his time information, and reserves the car for 5 hours. A few more taps, done and confirm, and the Mini McDougald is his for the evening. Now, as he nears the car's location, Jonathan needs some help finding his car among the variety of Zipcars in the pod. Well, I'm happy to say he can now hear where his car is simply by tapping the horn icon on his iPhone. Now that he's located his car, Jonathan taps Unlock. And the car actually unlocks. He jumps inside with a key and an iPod adapter await him, and off he goes. And that is Zipcar on the iPhone. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Luke. In our final demo, two companies have teamed up. Line 6 is a leader in digital guitars and guitar amps, and Planet Waves makes the wildly popular iPhone music application Chordmaster. Together, they've created a solution to allow you to control both your guitar and your amp at your next gig right from your iPhone. To show you how it works, I'd like to invite up Marcus Ryle. Marcus?
Thanks, Scott. Thank you. The history of rock and roll has been built by using and misusing countless pieces of gear to create the sound in an artist's head. Today, digital modeling makes it possible to put the sounds of hundreds of amps, guitars, and effects all into one system, which greatly simplifies the amount of gear you need in order to play a wide range of sounds. But it can be time-consuming to create your own sounds, and once you have them, there's still the job of taking them wherever you want to play. This all changes now with the new MIDI mobilizer. Using the accessory framework in iPhone SDK 3.0, we can now directly connect an iPhone to a Line 6 Veta amp and Variax guitar, making it easier than ever to control your sound. Matthew Faust is using Planet Waves Rig Remote software to choose from any of the 80 guitar amp models that we have in our Veta amplifier that's just off stage. And we've got it hooked up to the PA, so you can hear San Francisco's own Tal Morris show you what it sounds like. We're going to start with a classic clean American amp model. Now let's go for a more modern high gain model. All right, well, I'll wrap up by telling you we can save complete rigs, which will instantly put together all of the amplifiers, effects, and guitars all at once, instantly, with the iPhone. What this means is that you could show up at a gig, load your tones into any Veta and Variax, and you're ready to play. So, thanks to iPhone's accessory framework and its intuitive interface, finding the perfect tone has never been easier. Thank you.
The chance of something going wrong is directly related to the number of people watching, and the interest here is huge. And all of the demos beforehand, it worked fantastically. And it is very cool how the phone literally can change your guitar and your amp to set it up. And they actually can remember whole settings for different songs. So when you're at a gig, you can hit one button, and everything is set for that song, for that gig. Next. So that is all part of iPhone OS 3.0. For us, our job is to make developers successful. And we think you're going to absolutely love iPhone OS 3.0. It will be free for all iPhone customers, both of the original iPhone and the current iPhone 3G. It will cost $9.95 for iPod Touch customers, both of the first generation and the current second generation iPod Touch. iPhone OS 3.0. It will be available worldwide June 17th. And for all of our paid developers in the iPhone Developer Program, we are giving you the GM seed of iPhone OS 3.0 today. You can go and download it today. There are two calls of action for you. Number one, you need to go to iTunes Connect and assign a parental control age rating for your applications. And second, download iPhone OS 3.0 and test your applications against it if you haven't already been doing so with the betas. Make sure that your apps are compatible with 3.0. If not, quickly submit an update of your application. And that is iPhone OS 3.0. We are so excited about it. It is a fantastic release both for consumers and for developers. We can't wait for you to get your hands on it. Thank you very much. And with that, I'd like to hand it back over to Phil. Phil.
Thanks, Scott. To call the iPhone 3G a hit, I think would be the understatement of the year. Some people have called it the phone that has changed phones forever. And it's truly an amazing thing. The iPhone has changed how people think about their phones. It wasn't that long ago where we were so frustrated with these, call them crappy devices. And now they're unbelievable, incredible. It's changed what we can do with a phone. It's changed the things we expect as we're traveling around. For example, one of the things we wanted to create with the iPhone is a phone that was not only a great phone and a great iPod, but one that you could surf the web from anywhere. And look what's happened. The data's in. It's incredible. 2/3 of all mobile browsing is done on an iPhone or iPod Touch. That's amazing. It's also changed the things people want to do with their phone and those amazing applications that you all make. We now, in just a short while, expect this and are so excited by all the things they can do. And it's really been great in the iPhone and the App Store. I can't help but draw an example of how it's been going. Scott told you 50,000 applications on the App Store. These numbers are from this weekend. We looked up on the stores. The Android store is approaching 5,000 apps. Nokia has their OV store, and not all the apps run on all the phones. It's really complicated, so we took a lot of the phones and added them together to make a bigger number. BlackBerry broke 1,000, and somebody else, I can't read it, it's small. It's also changed what people expect from their phones. People expect a great phone now with a great experience. They want to love their phone again, just like we've loved our personal computers. And we've received just incredible awards for the iPhone 3G. In fact, I really think the iPhone 3G is the first phone that both business and consumers can love in one phone. So the iPhone 3G has been great. And that's why I'm really excited to tell you about an entirely new version, the iPhone 3GS. Now the S simply stands for speed, because this is the most powerful, fastest iPhone we've ever made. It has the same great design of the iPhone 3G that we just launched last summer, but what's inside is entirely new. This is a really fast iPhone. Everything you do all day long, you'll find incredible speed ups. For example, something as simple as launching a messaging application, 2.1 times faster. Loading a game like SimCity, 2.4 times faster. Viewing attachments and emails like an Excel attachment, 3.6 times faster. Going to a graphically intense JavaScript website like the New York Times, 2.9 times faster. Now these are all speeds against an iPhone 3G running the still-to-be-released 3.0 software, so we really made sure it was against the highest benchmark. And that last example, the web, I mean, something we do every day is getting so fast. Scott showed you the numbers of JavaScript running on an iPhone OS 3.0 phone, and it gets even faster with the 3GS. We go from 126 to 43 on an iPhone OS on a 3G phone. On a 3GS phone, it's now 15 seconds, approximately 3 times faster yet again. A lot of things are this fast. Now, not everything. So you're going to see an average across using the phone of up to 2 times fast, but as I just showed you, a lot of things even faster than that. And there's some great performance technologies in here, too. For example, game developers who want to create even richer gaming experience but have great game performance are going to find the 3GS now is OpenGL ES 2.0. And as carrier networks around the world roll out the latest generation 3G networks, you're going to find the 3GS phone is ready for that, too, with built-in 7.2 megabit per second HSDPA. So the new iPhone 3GS is a really fast phone. It also has amazing features. For example, there's a brand new built-in camera. Now the camera is another way that the iPhone 3G has really changed how people use their cell phones. For example, if you look at a popular photo sharing site, in this case Flickr, you see this is daily number of users loading photos from cell phones. The iPhone, 3.5 times more than any other cell phone. It's really changed how we can take pictures and share them on the go. Well, in the new iPhone 3GS, there's a brand new 3-megapixel autofocus camera. It takes pictures that are even larger, even more beautiful. For example, this photo, the Golden Gate Bridge. This photo right here was taken on an iPhone 3GS. It has amazing hardware and software that work together, as Apple is known to do. We make these things work hand in hand, and this has autofocus, auto white balance, auto exposure to take just a gorgeous photo for you. In addition to autofocus, we've got a great feature called tap to focus. So if I'm composing my photo, for example, in this case, I want a photo that focuses on the house, I just tap the house and it's in focus, and we balance the exposure for that. If I want to take a picture of the flower, I just tap it, and now it's in focus, and the photo's balanced as well. We've also improved low light sensitivity, so at night or indoors you can take even better pictures with better light sensitivity. And the autofocus brings along a really great feature, auto macro, as well. So now it will automatically take a macro photo of something as close as 10 centimeters away. Again, all these photos were taken with the iPhone 3GS. Look at that flower. That's just a stunning photo. It's an incredible camera. And as before, there is an API, so you developers can take advantage of this camera in your application. And any of you who use that API get these features for free in your application. But the best thing about this camera is it also captures video. So how does that work? It's as easy as can be. You simply go into the camera application, and there you'll see a new switch on the bottom right hand that says still or movie. And you flick to what you want to take, press the button, and now rather than capture, it's record, and it's recording video. 30 frame a second VGA with audio right on your iPhone. And like the still camera, it's autofocus, auto white balance, auto exposure. So now, whenever you have your iPhone with you, you have a video camera, and you can take whatever you'd like around the house. You can take videos with you everywhere you go. It's just as simple as that. That was taken on an iPhone 3GS. You just tap to record, and when you're done, where are the videos? Well, they're right alongside your photos in the picture application. When you go into the application, you see a new timeline at the top where you can see your video, and you can scrub along with your finger to find the exact moment you want to show. You can also edit it just with a tap of your finger. Yes, you can drag in the beginning point, the end point, and press trim. And the best thing, just like with the still camera, the best thing is you can now share it with anyone right here from your iPhone. I tap the share button, and I can send this in an email. If my carrier supports it, I can send it in MMS as well. I can put it up on Mobile Me in the gallery, and all my friends and family can see it there. I can push it right up to YouTube. All of that with a simple tap of your finger. So video on the iPhone, just like photos, are going to change how people use their cell phones. And I think very quickly you're going to see the iPhone 3GS, just like the iPhone 3G was with pictures, becoming the most popular camera, video camera being used on a cell phone on all the sites where people share video. And best of all, for developers, just like the still camera, there's an API as well, so you can build in video capture right into your applications. There's another great feature. We call it voice control. Wouldn't it be great to be able to dial friends and family just with the sound of your voice? With an iPhone 3GS, you can. It's the simplest thing. You're in an application anywhere on your iPhone. You hold down the home button, and after just a second, a brand new user interface pops up. The voice control interface. It's really cool. There's a waveform right across the center that shows the amplitude of your voice as it's being listened to by the iPhone. And talk about easy to use. The commands you can make are scrolling by right on the screen so you know what to say. So if I want to make a phone call, I just say, call Scott Forstall. Scott's in my address book. It finds him and calls him. If it has more than one entry, like work and home, the iPhone will ask me, work or home? I say home, and it calls Scott at home. I can also dial a phone number by simply saying dial and the phone number. So you can make calls with the sound of your voice. You can also control the playback of the iPod feature in your iPhone with the sound of your voice. I can play a song by saying, play songs by the Killers. No matter what I'm doing on my iPhone, my music starts playing. I can also play a playlist, like a workout playlist. I can ask my iPhone, what's playing now? And my iPhone will speak back to me and tell me the artist and song title. Yeah. And this last one's really cool. We can use the Genius playlist to simply say, play more songs like this. And the song that's playing right now will be made into a Genius playlist, and I can keep listening to my favorite music as I go. So that's voice control. There's also a built-in digital compass. Get a cool compass fan out there. The Compass app is a new app that comes on the iPhone. It's really gorgeous. It shows you your orientation relative to magnetic north and true north. It shows you longitude and latitude. And there's a button right there to tap and go right into the map application, see where you are in a Google map with your location centered. And then if you tap a second time, it will orient the map to the heading you're facing with your iPhone. And for you developers, there's an API to get data from the compass as well. And this is really powerful when you put together the API for the accelerometers with the API for the compass. You can get amazing game control on the iPhone. We also care a great deal about accessibility, helping more and more people be able to use this great new technology, and some great new accessibility settings in the iPhone 3GS. You go in the accessibility settings area and you find this voiceover. So if somebody needs to hear what they're touching with their finger for an email or web page, it'll read it to them. If you want to zoom in the display to have larger icons to be able to see it better, you can do that. If you want to invert the colors, if that helps your site, that's better. We even can pipe mono audio through both or either sides of the headphone to help you if that helps with your hearing. So great features for accessibility. We've also built in support for Nike Plus. Yep. For all of you triathletes out there, you want to go on your run and you want your iPhone to talk directly to that sensor in your Nike Plus, it will do that. It can track your run, give you a power song to listen to get you over that last hill, and share the data back to the Nike Plus website. And something businesses have asked for, they've asked for the ability to have hardware encryption for the data on their iPhone. And every iPhone 3GS has this built in too. We encrypt all the data so it's protected. And one side benefit of this, if you use Exchange servers or the new Find My iPhone cool Mobile Me feature, when you say wipe it, it's instantaneous because of that hardware encryption. And the data you back up in iTunes on your Mac or PC is encrypted as well. It's a great hardware encryption. So all this amazing features and performance and capability, and yet we even improved battery life as well. Now, the iPhone 3G was no slouch. It has incredible state-of-the-art battery life for a smartphone. I've put up here the battery life of the iPhone 3G running the latest 3.0 software. It's pretty good. But with the 3GS, it's even better. We now have up to 9 hours internet surfing on Wi-Fi, 10 hours video playback, up to 30 hours of music listening, up to 12 hours of 2G talk time, and 5 hours of 3G talk time. Really state-of-the-art battery life in an iPhone in the same size enclosures of 3D, just as thin. This is also the most environmentally friendly phone we've made yet. The iPhone 3GS has arsenic-free glass. It's BFR-free. It has a mercury-free LCD. It has a PVC-free system. And the packaging is smaller, 23% smaller. So as we ship millions of these around the world, we can save on fossil fuels. The iPhone 3GS, it is the fastest, most powerful iPhone yet. Amazing speed and all the things you do. An incredible 3-megapixel autofocus camera, video capture, editing, and sharing, voice control, digital compass, great accessibility features. All of that, and I haven't even yet mentioned one of the new features that are coming with iPhone OS 3.0, because all that stuff Scott showed you, which hasn't even hit the market yet, is all coming, of course, on the iPhone 3GS too. And I haven't even mentioned all the amazing stuff you do, all the incredible applications, the 50,000 and growing applications on the App Store. And I can tell you, the App Store, the rate at which applications are getting on the store accelerates. It's still increasing every day. The iPhone 3GS. So what are we going to price it at? Just $199. And that's for a 16 gigabyte version, twice as much as before, and $299 for a new configuration, 32 gigabytes. Of course, these prices are AT&T prices in the US for new and qualifying customers. Pricing varies around the world. And both the 16 and 32 gigabyte iPhone 3GS come in black and white. So we think this is going to be a beautiful new phone, incredibly fast, incredibly powerful, state-of-the-art, and going to continue the incredible success that iPhone 3G started. But we want to reach even more customers and make our phones even more affordable because so many people will love to get into an iPhone. So in addition to that, we're going to keep a model of the iPhone 3G in the market, priced at a breakthrough price, just $99. And that's for an 8 gigabyte version. And when you think about it, a high-end smartphone, state-of-the-art, the phone that changed everything, and people can get into it at a price that really there's never been a good smartphone yet at this price point. We really hope this opens the market up even more. And that starts today. The new iPhone 3G at $99 because the product's in the market and we can move that now. So what does the lineup look like? Here's the lineup. iPhone 3G at $99 for 8 gigabytes. 3GS, $199 for 16, $299 for 32. So when does the iPhone 3GS become available? Very soon, just a week and a half, June 19th. That'll be in the United States, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Switzerland, the United Kingdom. Just a week later, we'll take it to 6 more countries. And then a week or two later, we'll start the rollout throughout July through 28 more countries. And as we get into August, yes, cheer for your favorite country. As we get into August, even more countries. So very quickly, we're going to bring it across the over 80 countries that the iPhone is now available in and growing. We're really excited about the launch of this new iPhone 3GS. We think customers are going to be blown away with all that it does. In fact, we're so excited, we also, like last year, created a new ad. So I'd like to show you that ad now.
I think it's the same.
Introducing the next iPhone. It's the iPhone you love. Now with video. Just one of the amazing new features on the iPhone 3GS, the fastest, most powerful iPhone yet.
We work with a really great agency, and they come up with some really fun, amazing stuff. And I want to thank them for all the hard work on that. The iPhone 3GS. So today, we've shown you a whole new line of MacBook Pros with incredible pricing, incredible features, the greenest lineup of notebook. We've shown you macOS 10 Snow Leopard, really the first time we've done a public demo of it. I hope you're as impressed as I am with all the refinements. And Bertrand told you that you can, as developers, can get access to a near final build now, right at the registration desk here at the show. Scott showed you iPhone OS 3.0. It's an amazing leap forward in what was already the world's most advanced operating system on a phone, with so many technologies for your developers to build even greater applications on. Now I've shown you the iPhone 3GS, a breakthrough, brand new version, the fastest, most powerful iPhone yet, as well as incredible price point for the iPhone 3G at $99. And that's just the start of our show here at WWDC. We've done a lot, worked really hard and planned to make this a great event for all of you developers. 129 sessions, 147 hands-on labs, 1,000 Apple engineers are here to help you build the world's best applications and solutions. I'd like to say, as we leave here, finally, just want to thank, and please help me thank, all the amazing people at Apple. I mean, Apple's an incredible company that's working so hard to make these products and technologies for our customers and for you. The Mac hardware engineering team, the iPhone engineering team, the Mac OS X operating system team, the iPhone operating system team, the Mobile Me team have all worked so hard on these amazing products, as well as the marketing teams and sales teams have done just phenomenal to get this ready for you. So please help me give them a round of applause. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of your week at WWDC and keep making great applications. Thank you.